Bonjour et bienvenue à Gourmet, the channel where I cook my way through all the cookbooks I own and have never used. We are still working with mastering the art of French cooking, but you can see we're getting pretty close to the end. It looks deceiving, but the chapter we're in is about 100+ pages of different vegetable preparations, so we're going to move through this one really quick. But today we're going to make Artichauts Braisés à la Provençale, or braised artichokes with wine, garlic, and herbs. The reason I'm picking this one is because I've never made artichokes before. I normally just buy the canned artichoke hearts and call it a day. So I thought this would be interesting to do. Let's get started. So, admittedly, I'm not really confident in what we're doing at all, but we're just going to start. So, here's our artichokes. The beginning of this is to prepare the artichokes for cooking. So there's a specific way we're supposed to prepare them. We're supposed to have 6 large artichokes. I bought 5 artichokes, mostly because I don't even know if this is going to be good. I'm hoping it is, but we'll see, right? So to start, this is just me reading the book. We have to remove the stem, bending it at the base of the artichoke until it snaps off. So we'll start with that. Okay, we have a snap. There's a snap. Can we just... Jeez. Okay. So, base is off. I guess I'll just leave the trash can open because we're going to keep discarding parts of the artichoke. Okay. And then, break the small leaves at the base of the choke. Trim the base with a knife so that will stay solidly upright. I mean, that seems solidly upright to me, so I feel like maybe we did a great job cracking the stem off. And then lay the artichoke on its side and slice 3/4 of an inch off the top center cone of leaves. Don't know exactly how much I am supposed to be doing, but I'll call that there. Okay. Huzzah, good for us. This is a learning curve for sure. I don't even know if this is exactly how this is going to go. Okay, so we have our artichoke. Great. And then I need scissors, which I have. Okay. And then trim off points of the rest of the leaves. So I guess we're doing this, even though that one kind of got trimmed. Seems like it makes sense to just kind of go around and just kind of trim in this sort of a way. This is how I approach so many recipes when I don't know what I'm doing. I just kind of hope for the best and wonder, how will this turn out? Because I know, like, with the artichokes, when they're cooked like this, you like tear off the leaf and it's like the meaty part that you're looking to eat. But I don't know how much of the like tip is supposed to be cut off. I really don't know what I've gotten myself into here. But I like artichokes, so I don't see why we shouldn't try something new. I feel like I can leave the bottom. Okay. Here's our leaves. We did that. So I guess in the cookbook, this is how you... I just got leaves everywhere. You prepare the artichoke for the first part, but then this recipe, like, we are going to do it slightly different. So we did the direct, but cut off the leaves so that the artichokes are only about 1.5 inches long. I don't see, that's the part of the directions I don't quite understand. Do they mean the top part? I think she means the top part so that this is 1.5 inches long. So I want to maybe cut a little more off. That's what I'm going to do. This might be so wrong. I don't really know. But I'm gonna go with it. I don't quite understand these directions. Prepare the artichokes for cooking as directed at the beginning of the section, which we did, but cut the leaves so that the artichokes are only about 1.5 inches long. I'm gonna say that that's that, because then we slice the artichokes into lengthwise quarters and cut out the choke. Okay. So I'm gonna cut this way, and then I'm gonna cut this way. Okay, okay. And then, oh, I'm just making a mess. What is this hairy stuff? I guess that's the choke. Let's look at the picture together. Which way are you filming? I think maybe this. I couldn't tell you. I think it might go this way today. So I think the choke. So this is our artichoke picture. Can you see? You can. If this is upside down, I'm so sorry, but I think this is right. So I think this is the hair. So I think the hairy part is the choke, and we're supposed to cut that out. So I guess I go in that way. Why wouldn't I just peel it out? Do I have to cut? Maybe I do have to cut. Okay. That feels like we're done. I have no idea. I'm a little confused. I guess. Because this is like the meaty part of the artichoke. I really don't know. I'm going to call it here. And refer back to my directions. Okay, and then we're going to boil water. We're going to get all the artichokes ready, but then we're going to drop these in boiling water for like 10 minutes. So I'm just going to set this to the side, and we'll do that again. I feel like I went too deep. Like, that feels like I cut out a lot of meat, you know? This is fascinating, because I have no idea what I'm doing. This is one of the few times, and one of the first times, especially in this book, that I feel really out of my depth. Sure. There's just little hairy pieces all over. I didn't know artichokes had hair. Did you? It's kind of it's like pokey. I mean, I've never really paid that close of attention. Ow. Ow, these are pokey. Rude. I'm just gonna stick in here and kind of meet my cut in the middle and call it there. And whatever falls out, falls out. Okay, we'll try to be a little bit better with this one. I feel like I'm almost doing too deep of a cut there. Oops. Okay. We're stuck on something. And then, because that like pops out pretty nice, but this, does this not look weird? Whatever. Okay. I'm going to dump this in the trash can as much as we can. And we'll do another one for the camera, and then I will just bumble through these on my own. But we're going to do about the same thing. So we're going to break this guy off. Tear some of the bottom leaves. This one I feel like I should probably cut a little bit. I mean, it cuts real nice. I'll say that. And then maybe just initially just cut this down farther. Throw those away. And then we'll half. And we'll half. Okay. See, this one seems a lot less pokey than the other one with all the little hairs. I don't know what they are. I guess it's the choke, but I literally have never heard that. I'm just gonna do that over the trash can. I know I'm not supposed to be holding this when I cut things. Don't do what I do. Be better than me. And that, I'm going to go with it. That's what the other ones look like. This could be so wrong. I don't know. But I'm excited to have some artichokes. I'm gonna do these with some pork chops for dinner. So, you know, we have a plan of what our dinner's gonna be. See, that came out, that was so easy. I feel like the first one, I mean, I guess we've kind of made up what we're doing and we're just doing our own thing at this point. But these artichokes feel so much better than that first one. Oh, but you know what I didn't do? I totally missed a step. Uh-oh. That one. Okay. I forgot to cut the tips off. Oops-a-daisy. See, you just kind of gotta make the mistakes. Maybe our third one will go better. But see, like this leaf, it seems like I should probably have taken that one off, but we're committed, so it doesn't really matter. At least I'm committed to this. I don't know what I'm doing. It's so painfully obvious. The comments on this video are going to be like, I'm just going to apologize up front. This one's going to be interesting, but it almost felt easier to do it this way. Jeez. Okay. And then I guess I'll just cut this first, even though that's definitely just falling off. But we're basically blanching these, and then we're going to cook them in wine. So yeah, okay. Just scoot some of that off. Go in here. Okay. Get that off the knife. Pick an arbitrary number and just kind of slice until we pop it out. That seems like the right thing to do. That seems like we want to do. Okay. So there's that. I'm going to get the rest of these cut. And I'll see you when we're ready to boil them, I guess. Our water is just about boiling. We're going to have to do these in batches, but we have all of our chopped artichoke. You know, we tried our best. But what we're going to do is we are going to drop the artichokes into our boiling water. It is salted for about 10 minutes and then drain them. Because I'm not doing all of the artichokes in one go, I have this bowl back here that I'm just kind of going to scoop them out and put them into. But we'll see how many we can get in here at one time. I'm sure I'm going to lose some leaves, but that is what it is. And full disclosure, I did not go ahead and cut the 5th artichoke. I stopped at 4 artichokes, mostly because I realized I kind of wanted a control. So yeah, we have just finished cooking our artichokes. Ooh, that's a hopple. Here's what they look like. I'm going to set that down because that's hotter than I thought it would be. But we cooked them in 2 batches. They look good. I did some more reading and some more things about artichokes, and we didn't necessarily have to remove the choke or the hair part. But we did per the recipe, and because the recipe said that it looks nicer. So there's that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get the rest of this ready. So I have this onion here. It's going to be a little more onion than the recipe calls for. The recipe calls for 1 cup of diced onion. This was just a big onion. So, you know, that is what it is, but that's okay. You know, we love onion, so even if there's more onion than it's supposed to be, that's okay. We also don't have the correct kind of baking dish to put this in, so no matter what we do, we're doing it wrong. Oh, I was supposed to dice this. Well, I guess we'll dice not in the onion way, but in a different kind of way. My bad. That's what I get for reading and trying to talk. We're just going to dice this way. I'm going to go ahead and add in some tablespoons of olive oil to our pan. And we're going to cook this. We're going to get the onions in there, and we're going to cook these for about 5 minutes, it says. We don't want any color on the onion, so we'll see how long that takes. Okay, there we go. Now, this is supposed to be cooked in a casserole, which, as you know from prior recipes, I do not have. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you're enjoying. Um, we just, I just kind of bumble my way around the cookbooks and hope we do our best. But yeah, so I don't have a casserole like it says to serve this in. So our serving is going to be a little different the way we cook it. We're still going to cook it like the right time and temperature and everything, but it's not going to be one layer like it wants it to be. And that's just what it is. But we're going to let these cook for 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been just about probably like 7 minutes. I've been stirring the onions pretty constantly. You can see that they're mostly all the way cooked. There's not really color. We do have some color starting to gather in the bottom of the pan, but for the most part, they're still pretty translucent. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get ready for the next ingredient, which is garlic. We're going to add in 2 large cloves of minced garlic. So we're going to add in that much garlic. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a stir. I have turned the pan onto low for our next step. I'm just going to get all this in there, and then now we're going to add back in our artichokes. Now these are supposed to be done in one layer. We're not going to be able to quite make that happen, but I'm just going to do my best to add these guys in, see how many we can fit in one layer. These will be the ones that I'll probably eat for the test. Let's see. If we do it right, we can get almost everything in one layer. And then we have just about an artichoke and a half left. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we had just about an artichoke and a half left that's not going to be able to fit in one layer. Now we're going to sprinkle with salt and pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and salt. I'm going to go ahead and pepper. I will say these are fitting better than I thought. I'm pretty proud of myself. But still not the best. We ideally wanted one layer. We just don't have that. There's our salt and pepper. And now we're going to cover these and cook on low for about 10 minutes. So we just had our artichokes uncovered or cooking covered for 10 minutes. It smells fantastic in here. I went ahead and measured out a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. The cookbook says a 1/4 cup of wine vinegar, so I just am using this. I figured that's got to be good enough. Maybe it meant white wine because we're adding in a 1/2 cup of dry white wine or dry white vermouth, but I don't know for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and pour in the vermouth. And then we are supposed to cook this on high until half of the liquid has evaporated, which is interesting because I have no idea where the liquid is. I don't want to like smush these guys too much. So yeah, we're just gonna boil on high for a little bit. Okay, so it's been probably close to 4 or 5 minutes. What we're gonna do is we're going to add in 1.5 cups of stock. This says stock, canned beef bouillon, or water. So I don't know if it really matters, but I have this chicken stock left over from another recipe. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this and add in about 1.5 cups. We're just going to eyeball it. And I'm going to say that's close to about 1.5 cups. Now what we're going to do is, it's kind of interesting. I have it prepared to the side. We are going to cover this. It says with wax paper. I didn't have any. I thought I did. So I'm using parchment. We'll see how it goes. This is, we're going to cover this with parchment paper, then cover it and put it in the oven for about an hour and 15 to an hour and 30 minutes. This, putting the parchment paper or wax paper on top is supposed to prevent a lot of browning from happening. Don't know how true that is, but we'll see. So I will get this in the oven and see when these are done is when we'll meet back up. And we're back. I just pulled the artichokes out of the oven. I went ahead and took one out. This is what it looks like. You can see I've got like the onions. I have a little piece of artichoke here. The garlic's in there. It smells great. I just realized we have a new friend. We need to name him. He's the new paper towel holder. I guess I can take the tag off. But it's a frog. How fun. I got it from my friends for my housewarming present. So if you have names for the frog, comment below. But this is our artichoke. I'm going to go ahead and just rip off a leaf and we'll taste it. Okay, so from what I understand, because it's been a while, but you just kind of it's really hot, which is kind of what the problem is. Maybe we should cut that out. It's actually really good. I haven't had artichokes prepared like that. I think I want to dip it in a little bit of butter, which is what the book does say. You can dip it in hot butter, like a hollandaise or a vinaigrette. There's different sauce options, but I just wanted to try it on itself. Um, but that was really good. Honestly, if I was having like a dinner party and wanted kind of like a fun, different kind of side, I would serve that. And I know that the artichoke heart, so that middle section, that's where a lot of like that flavor is going to be. That super good. Um, yeah, I don't have any complaints about this one. I think I'm probably going to give it, if I sit there and think about it, give it like an 8. It wasn't very hard. I did not exactly know how to cut the artichokes, and I still don't really know. So that's kind of what is really taking away points. But it tastes good, and it was easy, and the ingredients were super easy to find. So I didn't have a lot of problems with it. It's just I don't know if I did it fully correctly. But it's good. I'm gonna save them. Well, I'm gonna eat what I want and with dinner, and then I'm gonna save the rest and probably just snack on them. Um, like I said, probably put a little bit of butter in there. They're gonna be great. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.